All right, that 2024 election is now wrapped up, and whew, it seriously could not have gone any more perfectly. I mean, first off, the obvious, how Trump won. We absolutely needed him. Kamala is so unfit to be a president. Like, there's nothing presidential about her. How would she be able to be a president? She can't speak. She can't think. She's got a very low IQ, or at least that's what she presents. If she is smart, she sure don't seem it. You know, she couldn't go to Joe Rogan and do a podcast with him unless it was, 45 minutes and at her location. Which the irony is, what's his name? Fetterman. He went. This guy literally has brain damage because didn't he have a stroke or something that caused brain damage? He can go to Joe Rogan like you're supposed to do and do 2 hours with him. But Kamala can't manage to do more than 45 minutes, apparently. I mean, right out the gate with that, what does that tell you? And then she's not a threat at all. How is that supposed to be your leader? How is that supposed to be your person that's there to be like your first line of defense, that you can trust that, yeah, when stuff's going down, she's got our back? Like, her thing to Iran that time is, don't. I mean, yeah, she was mimicking Biden, but still, she said the same thing. I mean, she's second in line. She could have been a little more intimidating, not just don't. Like, oh, wow, so scary. Don't? Okay, I guess I will. F you. Like, I mean, everybody's gone over this a million times, but if she did win, it would have been the destruction of the world. It would have been World War III. Iran's already started now to start in with their nonsense, and without anybody like actually strong to be like, yo, you sure you want to play this game? I mean, you can, but then I can show you what I can do. And I'm basically end game player right now, and you're early game player. So are you sure about that? Like, that's what you need. And that's not what you had with Kamala. Don't. Oh my God, don't. It's so scary, right? And then you get all these idiots too that are whining, oh, she's one of the most qualified candidates. Not really. One of the least qualified. I mean, for starters, she failed up her entire career. How does that make her qualified? Well, not only failed up, actually, she slept her way up. I mean, she only got started because of Willie Brown. So, wow, that's some great qualifications. I knew how to put a dick in my mouth. Like, oh, okay. Wow, those are some good... I think in the future you'd make a great president. You're going to be highly qualified. I mean, I guess depending on when she did that, Monica Lewinsky and Clinton could have been going on. But then again, Monica wasn't the president. And look what happened with her. She had to deal with shame for a while and adversity and eventually overcame it. But it took a while. But yeah, and then everything else she's had, she's never really had to go in a true election like this and actually have to try. And now she does, and look what happens. Of course she loses. And then it's kind of funny because Trump won against a girl again. Like the 2 times that, oh my God, the dumb lefties, oh my God, our first woman president. And Trump's the one that shuts it down. 2 for 2 with beating women. I think I saw a TikTok that said, out of all the dumb false allegations that people want to levy at Trump, why do they never use the one real one? That he beats women. And, it's a TikTok, so they had the picture of Kamala and Hillary there. It wasn't like making it sound like he beats women, like, physically. It's just, the joke, and they had those there for context. But, yeah. So, super unqualified, can't speak, nothing for the first line of defense. I mean, then they say qualified too. Qualified what? She's supposed to be the commander-in-chief. She doesn't know the first thing about the military. How's that supposed to be the commander-in-chief? I think that we should bomb this country for reasons. All right, broad, calm down. You're an idiot. No one likes you. Actually, though, I say no one likes you, but somehow she ended up with a ridiculous enough amount of votes. Like, still got 60-something million. How? How is there that many brain-dead people out there that wanted to vote for that? Like, how dumb do you have to be? I don't understand. It's like all these lefties just care about abortion, which is psychotic and weird. Why is being able to kill a baby the most important thing to you? Like now that Trump won, you see all the memes on Twitter or whatever, X and all this, and it's like, Dad, how come, no, what's the jokes? I don't know. It's a stupid little storyline. It's supposed to be like a kid talking to his dad, and it's, yeah, I think the son is asking his father, Dad, why did you vote for mom and sis to lose their rights as women, blah blah blah, and then they make the dad say, because eggs and milk were getting too expensive, or something stupid like that. And it's just like, abortion's not that big of an issue as like you freaks want it to be. Like, it's so dumb that they treat it as if it's like the last line of defense against pregnancy, or not. It should be the last line. I mean, they treat it like it's the only line of defense when there's 9 million other options. You know, a condom, abstinence. You don't need to be getting dick. Abstinence. You can have a birth control method in place. You can maybe do some foreplay to get some out of the way first. That's a little more potent. Then you're left with less potent stuff. You know, a lot of options. Have a strong pull-out game. I mean, I guess that's not on the woman. That's on the stupid guy. But, you know, tons of options. But nope, they just see it as abortion. Oh my God, if we can't have abortion, you're stripping women's rights. And it's so annoying too that all these retards are saying this now. Oh, I can't believe all these people voted against women's rights. Like, nothing's gonna happen. Actually, you know what is gonna happen? Women's rights are gonna get strengthened because you're no longer gonna have men who like to pretend they're a woman playing in your sports. So you can wrestle. If you join a wrestling team, you'll be able to go up against another girl and have equal chance against her, not have some guy come beat the shit out of you. Or you can play baseball and not have some guy, you know, have that advantage of just being a guy and be able to hit the ball harder or throw harder or whatever. You know, it's going to be a fair games now. Women on women, not stupid delusional guy on woman. So yeah, actually, Trump winning is better for you guys. But no, you don't see it that way because you just want to cry about not being able to kill your baby. Oh, I want to be a mass murderer. What's even more dumb is that a lot of these broads that whine about this probably live in a blue state already. So it's like, you have nothing to worry about. Like, that's what was all over Facebook and stuff. Broads that I know of whining about their women's rights. Oh, I can't believe it that people would choose to have cheaper eggs and milk over women's rights. It's like, we live in a blue state, unfortunately. Like, you got nothing to worry about. Shut up. The neighboring states are blue as well. So even if we flipped, you can just go next door and, hey, what's up? Can you take care of me? Like, and I bet you a lot of these freaks in California are worrying about that too. Like, hello, you live in California, extremely blue. Like, you still have the option if you want it. Don't know what you're crying about. Doesn't affect you at all. Speaking of the votes, though, I do find it to be kind of funny / ironic or whatever you want to say about the number of votes. You know, it's funny. The last election, it was 81 million votes Biden got, right? How come now for Kamala it's right in line with what it always is, sitting at around 66 million or something? But then they wonder why the Republicans and stuff try to say that the election was rigged and stolen. Because, you know, yeah, obviously, it's super suspicious. I mean, Trump last time had, 76 million? Like, he had a lot, too. Which, obviously, the pollsters weren't cheating for him. I think what happened was he actually got 76 million votes. And the Democrats were way below. And then that's when they did their little blackout thing. Oops, they're not being counted. And then the next thing you know that famous image where it's like the blue curve's way below the red curve, and then it shoots up out of nowhere. Yeah, that's where the blackout was. So they were like, oh my God, Trump is crushing us at 76 million. You know, Biden's stupid ass only has about 60 million. So then, added 20, there's the 81, boom. I mean, come on. You mean to tell me that these psycho lefty freaks are more apt to go out and vote for a semi-senile, at the time, senior white male over the first woman of color president? Oh, she's so brat and joy. Oh, If Biden can get 81 million, she should have been able to too. But nope, it wasn't legit. That's why he got it, where hers actually is legit. But anyways, I'm just calling it out because it's funny. It's like the Democrats are telling on themselves. But of course, they're too stupid to realize that. They think they're smart because, I went to some stupid liberal arts college and got some worthless degree that I'll never be able to get a job with, but I just think I'm so much better than you. Yeah, so now they have that in their pocket. And they think that they're, something special, but the reality is they're dumb. That's why they believe everything stupid that they believe, that Trump is Hitler and all this, and it's going to be the end of the country and blah, 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 when it's their candidate that would have caused all these results. Anyways, I had another point too, but I keep going on so many tangents I forgot. So, I guess I'll just loop back in general. So yeah, the election went perfectly. Oh, that's another thing too that was perfect, was that it actually wrapped up in one day. We didn't have to wait until Saturday or whatever. I mean, this was over by like 1:30, which was not perfect because for me, I got to get up at 6:15, so staying up till 1:30 to watch this stuff wasn't ideal. It would have been great if it was over at like midnight. I thought it was going to be. Trump was cruising. He was at like 250 by midnight, and I was like, all right, cool, we just need one more state and we're done. And it took an hour and a half. Ugh. Which made no sense. Some states were calling it at like 54% of the vote counted. Pennsylvania was at like 85 and they still weren't calling it. Like, come on, guys. This is Trump's now. What are you waiting for? It's not like it's that neck and neck that each last vote matters. There was enough of a spread that, just call it. You're at 85%. I highly doubt it's going to flip for Kamala at this point. No, they waited until they were like 97%. And then they're like, okay, I guess this is for Trump. Like, jeez. So yeah, if they would have called it way sooner, it would have been even better. The election would have been done way sooner, which would have been even more perfect. But yeah, the other thing too that I wasn't even thinking about. See, this presidential election has had me stressed out because obviously it was super critical. I mean, you had Kamala, who is an absolute failure, worthless, nothing burger. She would have brought nothing of positivity to the country. We would have fallen to communism. We would have been in a huge global war. It would have been very, very bad. And you'd have somebody weak at the helm. And, just someone so incompetent, so unfit for the position. I mean, I feel like to a certain extent, she was probably hoping to lose. Because, she is dumb, so maybe she was hoping to win. But I feel like secretly she probably was hoping to lose. Like, when the day came, she was probably like, oh my God, all this campaigning is so much work. I'm tired. Oh, I hope I lose so I don't have to do this every day for the next 4 years. Oh. And then when she lost, she was probably like, oh my God, perfect. Speaking of the loss, though, that's another thing that shows why she's not fit to be a president. Because she wasn't very, classy, you could say. She didn't give a congratulatory message to Trump at last night. She didn't give a speech to her followers that were at like a gathering for her. She just handled it terribly. She knew she was going to lose, so she just dips. Like, that's not how you do it. I know it might hurt that you lost, but that's not how you do it. You give a final speech to your supporters, tell them thank you for supporting me, and we can try again in 28. Hopefully she doesn't, but you just say that to your supporters to make them feel happy and optimistic and whatever. Then you go and probably can't meet up with Trump. I don't think they're in the same area, but you can at least give him a call or something, get it on camera real time, show that you're congratulating him and all this. No, she just shows that she's a trashy individual. She just ditches it all. Well, I'll deal with it tomorrow, I guess. F them. F all of them. F my supporters. F the new president. F you. F the system, because it wasn't rigged for me this time. But yeah. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I was so focused on the presidential election, and man, that had me so stressed out. I was with somebody trying to watch this, and I was so on edge. Kept feeling like if they tried to talk to me, I was going to be snippy. Not that I wanted to be snippy, but I was just so on edge. Just worried about what was going to happen. And, very uptight. like, I thought I was going to need an energy drink or a coffee or something to kind of keep me awake as the night went on, but I was just so tense from worrying about the election that I kind of just naturally had energy. I didn't have to worry about how I felt. So high strung I couldn't be sleepy. And I think being so high strung made it so like a cold sore developed on my lip. It happened yesterday. I pick up my daughter and we go to Dunkin's to get a drink, and then as I'm driving home, I feel it. I can feel it growing on my lip and like showing up. It's weird. It just happens out of nowhere. My mouth was normal, and then all of a sudden there's a sensation, boop, and then there's a bump, and I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. And I feel like it's just a stress cold sore. It's not a real one. It's just so much tension worrying about this because, like I said in my last cast, this was huge. It was like you either had extremely awesome, incredible innovation and taken the country in a whole new, very positive direction, something that's never been done before. Because a lot of times the presidents are always just the same. You know what I mean? It's just a person with roughly the same end goals as the last one, and not much really changes. And like, this was going to be huge. It's actually going to be changed for once. It's not just a change of body, like, okay, now it's this guy. It's, oh my god, it's this now. It's like a party now. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say that Trump's policies are like a party, but I'm just trying to say, like, it's more exciting, and it's like, wow. So you had that versus Kamala, which, again, would have been boring. Same old, only she would have been exactly the same as Biden, still run by the DNC, probably with Jean-Pierre lying for her now instead of Biden, and it just would have been terrible. Very terrible. And so that's what I was worried about. I was like, man, if Kamala wins this, which luckily she didn't. But anyways, I forgot about Senate races as well. Didn't even think of those. And it was pretty cool that the Senate flipped. It is now red as well. So you got a red Senate. Obviously, we've had a red House. That's why Pelosi's no longer the Speaker and Mike Johnson is. And then you'll have a red president. So it's like, oh my God, it couldn't get any more perfect. The red wave that we were supposed to have in the midterms happened now. During the midterms, the red wave ended up being a little red trickle. That's when the House flipped. Barely, too. Like, not even really flipped. It flipped by what? Like 5 seats or something stupid? And then now it's like, whew, here's the wave. But why is that? That's because the Democrats are just absolute failures. They've gone so insanely far and just to insane territory that makes no sense, that people just can't support that. They're all about the trans ideology, and yeah, trans women should play in women's sports and all this nonsense, and yeah, trans your kids, and puberty blockers don't affect them long term, and just psychotic ideologies that I don't even know how they took hold. I don't know how any of these weird loony thoughts grasped hold on the media and people just following along with that. How did these people not hear these thoughts and be like, what? Who came up with this? Like, how did none of them think that? They're all just like, okay, I will think this too. Trans people should be in women's sports. Yup. Okay, I will give my 3-year-old puberty blockers. They're safe. Like, I just don't get it. But yeah, a lot of people are totally sick of it. And they see this and they're like, God, the Democrats aren't even what... Biden's famous line he loves to always say is, the Republican Party isn't your father's Republican Party. And maybe that's true. I mean, he's trying to make it sound like the Republican Party is, like, insane and terrible. And it's like, calm down, idiot. It might be different, but it's like, it's with the times different. You know what I mean? Back when your father was a Republican, which I don't even know who Biden's talking to. Because he always says your father's Republican Party. He's 80. So is he talking about his dad? Who would be in his hundreds if he was still alive? I'm not saying he is. I'm saying if he hypothetically was still alive, would be in his hundreds most likely. Is he talking about men like that? Guys born in the 1910s? Those kind of fathers? Or is he talking about somebody like my dad, who would be 60? Or is he talking about the young generation's fathers, who would be like slightly older than me, so maybe like 44. Like, what father are you talking about? What generation of Republican are you trying to reference? But anyways, that's just beside the point. The main point is, he always says that it's not your father's Republican Party. Jeez, trying to make it out like the Republicans are so extreme and terrible nowadays. But it's like, yeah, but the Democrat Party sure isn't your mother's Democratic Party either. And they choose mothers because, Democrats are kind of a bunch of sissy little pansies. If you're a man. If you're a woman, it's perfect. Oh my God, abortion and feminism. But if you're a guy, it's like, ugh, why are you a Democrat? Are you gay? So anyways, yeah, so it's like the Democrat Party isn't your mother's Democratic Party either. I mean, geez, they've gone so far off the rails, absolutely insane. Like, again, Biden tries to talk crap about Republicans like they've gone off the rails, but it's like, you Democrats have gone way further off the rails. Like, it's so psychotic that you're not even like a fragment of what you used to be. What the heck is going on? Oops, that startled me. I hate when I interject myself like this, but I always make these while I'm driving home from my second job because, well, obviously I have a long ride. I'm basically talking the whole time that I'm driving, and these are usually 45-50 minutes long. So anyways, I was in the process of trying to pass some dickhole on the highway, but I like to drive using cruise control. So I had to kind of brake it just so I could pass the city, and then I went to go put it back on, and I accidentally hit the Bluetooth button, so now my car was talking to me, and I'm like, huh? What's that noise? Like, I'm in here by myself, and all of a sudden I hear a voice. But then I was like, oh, whoops, it's just my car. I hit the wrong button. Anyways, back to the main story. So yeah, the Democrats are just absolutely psychotic, and I think that's why this whole red wave happened. People are sick and tired of it. They're sick of the weird nonsense and all the weird gender ideology and just the weird ideologies in general of the left. It's very immoral. It's almost satanic. Just the depravity of the Democratic Party nowadays. It's like the more depraved they can be, the better they think it is. Yeah, you need to be a gay, trans, non-binary, I don't know, just come up with a whole list of weird things, and ugh. I mean, look what they did to the White House too. The White House has had dignity like forever, and then Biden's satanic administration comes along, and you got all these freaks working in there, and the weird gay sex that happened that one time in one of the rooms, and the cocaine being found left behind, and just all this gross stuff just ruining the prestige of the White House. Like, what are you doing? And all these freaks want to act like Trump winning's the end of the world. Yes, I know, restoring normalcy and decency and classiness and all that, and respect to the office, and putting your country first instead of other countries, i.e. Ukraine, and trying to make your country as awesome as it can be for all the citizens and everything. It's just I don't know how anyone can hear all that and think, oh my God, that's terrible. Anyways, I just remembered my point that I had way back when I was talking about abortion stuff. So yeah, that's to piggyback off of what these dumb women are saying. I can't believe America voted against women and their rights, blah blah blah, for cheaper food and eggs or whatever. And it's like, when I see that, I'm like, yeah, well, abortions affect a very fringe few individuals. I mean, seriously, for the most part, your average abortion receiver is like some kind of stupid colored haired individual who probably is out of shape, who has weird body hair, meaning like just in weird areas. Maybe there's too much armpit hair, maybe there's way too big of a bush, something kind of gross is going on with the hair. Maybe the legs are a little hairy. I don't shave, I'm an all-natural feminist. You know what I mean? Like, it's those weird freaks that are worried about. The ones that aren't getting dick anyways. Because either A, they're just so gross, no one wants to give it to them, or B, they're probably a lesbian, so they're not choosing dick. Like, so you'll never get pregnant. But, it's like, think about it. Is it affecting normal conservative women that they can't get abortions? No. Is it affecting men? No. Is it affecting postmenopausal women? Nope. And then even of the liberal type women, again, it's only affecting a slim few, because there are liberal women that are not extremely liberal, because liberalism nowadays has such a spectrum that's like semi-normal all the way up to absolutely psychotic and insane. So it's like the ones that are like midway to absolutely psychotic and insane down. It's probably like 10%, 5% of the population actually worries about abortions that much. Everyone else is pretty normal about it. Like, I don't need to do that. But insane prices for gas and food, that affects everyone. All those people that I listed as examples of who it doesn't, of who abortions don't affect, bad prices will affect these people. When you go to the grocery store and everything's super high, that does affect men, that does affect women, that does affect postmenopausal individuals, that does affect teenagers, that does affect everybody. So yeah, I'd hope they voted to get cheaper milk and eggs, because it affects absolutely everyone, not just a slim fringe few. But anyways, now that I remember that, we can go back to the other point, which is that the Democrats are insane, and that's why there was this red wave, I think. Also, I mean, I think obviously for Trump, it's obvious why he won. I mean, his policies and all that are just too good. You can't pass that up. Why would you want to choose Kamala? Like, I don't understand how she had so much support. All those people that voted for her. Why? Like, did you do no research? Do you know absolutely nothing about the candidate? She was at 28% approval as VP. I think that was even lower than Biden. Wasn't Biden sitting at like at least 30? She was at 28. When she tried to run for the seat in 2020, when Biden earned the nomination from the primaries, she was at 7% of the vote. So again, not very popular. Not many people were voting for her to be the front runner of the party. Her party threw a coup and just installed her. Nobody chose her. She probably didn't even choose it. They were just like, okay, we're going to kick Biden out and we're going to choose eeny, meeny, miny, you, Kamala. And then I don't understand why all these people support her. She's terrible. How did she have so many votes? How was the election this close? Well, electoral college-wise, it's not close, but votes-wise kind of is. How? You're telling me half the population of this country is that dumb? Like, I don't want to be divisive like Biden's been his whole tenure, but seriously. Just don't get it. Dang it, this happened again. I was thinking of something else I was going to say, and now I forgot. This is annoying. But anyways, yeah, the Senate flipping, that's good. And then what this is going to bring about, now that there's like a unified red front, it's going to bring about, A, Trump might not have to worry about any more stupid impeachments anymore, because everyone's going to be on the same team as him. They're not going to be worried about, we got to impeach him over some dumb nonsense that's not impeachable, like they did last time, impeaching him twice over stupid things. Just anything to try to smear his name. And then his dumb trials he had, and he's a felon. F you. He's a fake felon, okay? He's a manufactured felon by the media, just like Kamala Harris is a decent front runner for your party, manufactured by the media. Like, get real. So that shouldn't be a thing anymore. No more stupid impeachments. All of his agendas and plans should go through smoothly. There should be like no resistance on that happening. It's gonna be pretty awesome. I mean, there's the midterms that could unfortunately shake things up and kind of ruin things a little bit, but at least you got 2 years that it's going to be sick, and as long as Trump keeps that in mind and just does what he needs to do, it's going to be an awesome 2 years at least. And who knows, maybe the people will love it and they'll keep it all red, kind of like Florida. Florida kind of experimented with going red with Ron DeSantis. Like, they were kind of purple before, and then Ron came along, and now Florida's just red. They're like, oh my God, this is awesome. Life is awesome with solid policies and everything. So, who knows? Maybe the country will be like, holy shit, this is cool. We definitely do not want to get any more blue in there. We're going to maintain the red guys in there. Hey, maybe even add a few more. Who knows? You can only hope. But for now, what we have is plenty good enough. Don't need to worry about the midterms. What we have now is absolutely perfect. It's the best and best way the election could have went. Absolute 100% best way. And, yeah, now you just got to have this dead corpse ride out the next couple of months. Don't know how he's supposed to be leading our country when he can't even function for himself. I don't know. It's kind of a weird situation. I mean, now that Trump is the incumbent, can he invoke the 25th Amendment and just kick them out and take over? Like, probably not. That would be, like, treasonous or something. Not treason, but, you know, too dictatory to do something like that. But come on, we need a real leader. Biden's not. Kamala's not. And he's been chosen now. The people chose him. It's not like we're going to care. We voted for him. So sure, yeah, put him in. Get rid of the dead corpse that you just got hanging around in the Oval Office that you kind of move around here and there. Oh, let's take him out of this room and put him in this one. There we go. Look, he's still alive. He moved over here. Anyways, what was I going to say before? Man, I had a big point. Kind of sucks that I already forgot. I don't know. I think it had something to do, though, with how the race was tight. I don't understand. I don't understand that at all. A lot of people don't understand it. I've been noticing comments on, like, TikToks and on Twitter or X, whatever it is, how they're like, how was the race ever this close? The only thing I don't know is when I read these comments, I don't know if the person is saying it in the sense of Trump, like support for him, like how did Kamala have this much support, or if they're saying it in support of Kamala, like how did Trump have this much support. I interpret it as how did Kamala have this much support, but I could be wrong. I don't know, because usually these comments are kind of just out of context. It's just a comment. It's not like it's a comment under somebody else's comment or anything. So I don't know their angle, but it is something I've always thought. How did Kamala get this much support when it's not earned or anything? She shouldn't have had any support. I mean, her party threw a coup right away. That should have just made everyone be like, what? I'm not even supporting the Democrats in general. What's happening? That's what I was going to say, though. I just remembered when I said threw a coup. It's funny because Trump basically beat the Democrats twice. You know what I mean? Like, First Trump went up in a debate against Biden. Biden completely bombed it because he's senile and can't speak and function. So you could argue that he beat him, which caused the DNC to withdraw him from being the front runner, and then they just installed Kamala. So if Trump went, beat Biden, and then Kamala comes along, he beats her. So he beat two presidential nominees from the Democrats. I mean, technically you'd say he beat a bunch of other ones too, because there's all the, there was the Green Party person and the Libertarian, I think. So obviously he beat them too, but they don't really count. Those people don't gain any votes. I don't even know what the point is why they try to run. Like, why do they put themselves on the ticket? They know they're not going to get any support. Although I was saying when I was watching the election, I was saying, imagine like one of these random people win. Like, imagine how weird that would be. Like, I don't know. I don't remember the names. There was Jill Stein and something else. So we'll just go with Jill Stein because I can remember her name. Like, imagine just tons of people voted for her as a joke. Like, they thought they were going to be a one-off. You know what? I don't want to waste my vote, but I'll trust everyone else that they're going to vote right. So I'm gonna put Jill Stein on this one. It'd be funny. And then, like, just everybody happened to think that way. And then Jill Stein wins. And it's just like, what? How did this happen? She, like, blows the Democrat and the Republican nominee out of the water, just totally crushes it, gets like 380 electoral votes, and it's like, what? That'd be so weird. It would probably be weird for her too. She's like running just as a joke, like, oh my god, I just want to be in politics, and this is my way I can do it. Now I can say I ran for president. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait, I won? I wasn't ready for this. I don't have a cabinet. I don't have a VP. I don't have policies. I don't have ideas. I never campaigned. I have no ads. What? But yeah. So I just thought that was funny. Trump just dominates against women, terrible women Democrat nominees, and he crushed the Democrats twice in this cycle because he beat both of their candidates. One thing, though, that I will say kind of sucks is that stupid Biden gets to have, like, I don't know, he gets to go on now with his legacy being, oh, I was able to beat Trump. No one else could do it. I did it. And it's like, you didn't really beat him, though, you idiot. Your party cheated for you. Like, be real. Just admit it. Stop pretending that it was fair. You guys had your weird spurt of votes out of nowhere. You cheated. But yeah, that's what he gets, is to say that. The other thing, though, I think pretty strongly is that he's been trying to sabotage Kamala. Since they took him out of the front lines, you know, he's been sour about that all along. And I think he's been trying to sabotage her. I mean, geez, even just recently, his wife, didn't they go vote or something? And she's got this red dress on. Like, what does red mean? Obviously Republican. Like, what are you saying? Are you secretly saying that you guys voted for Trump just because you're so upset about what happened that you're not going to support Kamala? Which, oddly enough, would be one of the smartest things that Biden's probably ever done, was support a good candidate. But yeah, there's just been like little hints all along, like that time he actually wore a MAGA hat. During his whole presidency, when he was trying to vilify all MAGA Republicans and all this, he would have never done that. But then he gets kicked out by his own party, so he's like, all right, well, I'm going to put this hat on then. F you. And, yeah, he's probably now, I mean, obviously his dementia is severe, so there's that. But on the other hand, he's probably also just, like, riding out the presidency now. Like, why should I bother? They threw a coup and kicked me out. They didn't even give me a chance to... I mean, they did give me a chance to rerun, but they kicked me out, so I couldn't, like, finish my chance. You know, he's like, I'm not able to stay in the White House because I didn't even lose to Trump. They kicked me out, and then they put some idiot there that lost instead. My stupid, terrible VP that they forced me to have. I didn't even pick her. So he's like, now he's probably just like, whatever, F you. I'm just going to ride this out. I'm not going to bother trying at all. I sucked as president. Now I'm just going to let it get even worse now. And F you. F you country. F you party. F you everything. That's probably his mindset now. Which means it really needs to get to a point that Trump is in office. That way then we have somebody who cares and all that in there, instead of some senile guy who's all grumpy and sour about everything that's happened and just giving up. Anyhow, I guess I'm just going to wrap it up now. I'm not quite done, but good enough. Yeah, so this election went absolutely perfectly. I mean, geez, 100% perfectly. I don't think there's one thing bad other than them announcing that he won at around 1:30. If it happened at midnight, that would have been better, but who cares? At the end of the day, it still happened in the same day. It's not like we're waiting until Saturday to get the final winner and stuff like we did under Biden Trump. So, yeah, just perfect. It couldn't have gone any better. It literally could not have gone any better. Just, man, such a good... Actually, the one thing that could have been better is if my state flipped red. No, of course, we stayed blue. Bunch of morons that live in my state. Would have been nice if we flipped red. One, it'd been a little bit more for Trump. Not much. I think we only have like 6 electoral votes, but still, it would have been 6 more for him. But 2, it would have just been nice to know, hey, I live in a red state now. Nice. And then it also might mean that maybe moving forward, we could become a little bit more red. Maybe next time elect a Republican governor. Maybe get some more Republican members into Congress. I don't really know what happened with our Congress. I kept trying to watch it show up when I was watching the election, but I didn't see any of my guys. I only saw one of them, and it was the stupid Democrat. And I was like, well, I don't care about him. I'm trying to see if any of these Republican guys that I voted for are making it through or not. But anyways, yeah, super good, perfect. Hopefully when the midterms 2022, it goes just as well. I'd say if not better, but it can't be better. I mean, midterms you don't have a president on the line and stuff, so, but still, yeah, so that's all I got. Not quite home yet, but whatever. I don't really have anything else to say. I'm kind of just trailing on now anyways, just to fill up my drive time. So yeah, thanks for checking this out. And not only do I say see ya, but I also say looking forward to January, and looking forward to all the awesomeness that hopefully will be coming along with this new red wave we've had. So yeah, thanks a lot, and I said see ya.